Now, from across the tri-states, this is KHQA Sports.
And tip top of the evening, everybody, and welcome once again to Sports Final, where guess who lost the KHQA Game of the Week coin flip? Yeah, I did. And here's Will then, the jerk, with your highlights of the game of the night.
Well, thankfully, I won this week because I got to see the best game of the week, bar none. These two squads decided to play each other after an opening in their schedules, and thank goodness they did. Let's get to the highlights right now. They were a beauty. This game lived up to every bit of the hype throughout the week. Brad Dixon and Lon Klein ready to go head-to-head. The Panthers, they were pumped up in this one, no doubt about that. Illini West capitalizes early. Central goes for a fake punt right here. Dustin Waddell and the Chargers, they're not falling for. Chargers back on offense here. Braden Bennett does it through the air. And look who he finds, Waddell, who sniffed out the punt. 47 yards for a touchdown to give the Chargers an 8-0 lead. The Panthers, they're going to respond in a big way. Alhair Saldana, who played flawlessly on defense tonight. Not bad, toting the mail as he takes it inside the 5 right there, sliding into the pylon. And here's Ryan Freiberg, the QB keeper, the captain. He goes in, diving into the end zone, making it an 8-8 ball game. Dixon's defense dominant in the second quarter. Jason Dormeyer doing his thing right here, wrapping up Nolan Ard for a big loss in the backfield. Central's going to get the ball back, and it's the captain and the quarterback again. Freiberg in from 1 yard out. Central takes the lead 15-8. More grounding and pounding, though, from the Panthers there. Bobby Keltz, he finally breaks one. The big fella's going to rumble all the way down inside the 10-yard line right here. Central threatening and in business again. Keltz, he's going to finish off what he started. Bulldozes his way into the end zone. Central is going to take a 22-8 lead in this one. And then Brad Dixon's crew playing well at that point. But then in the second half, Braden Bennett, he would happen in a big way. Bennett on the keeper right here. Takes this one down the left field sideline inside the 10 yards. And then Bennett, he was just all guts on this drive. He's going to dive in, finish her off right here. Illini West, they come back. This one goes into overtime, and Brody Bivens with a game-winning field goal edges Central over Illini West today, 25-22. Over to Chris right now.
Well, let's talk about our Game of the Week winner. It is Pam Metzger of Mount Sterling. Congratulations to her, and not so congratulations to whatever idiot picked against Camp Point Central. Who would do such a thing in tourisms? I don't know, but clearly not a very smart man. Let's talk about the West Central Conference tonight. Let's talk about Quincy Notre Dame christening the brand new field, advanced physical therapy. Check out the big scoreboard in the background. It's a monster that brought this fair city light. How about this guy, Dalen Anders, right out of the gate? What an incredible kickoff return. Dalen to daylight. More Dalen on that first drive. Pick up a 12 yards right there. That would set up the table for Logan Aarons, who's going to go in right here from a yard out. Power running, 7-0 Q&D before one could blink. And there's the new scoreboard. I tell you what, that's an impressive, monolithic-looking thing. All digital. Fantastic. More to come in this one. More from Mr. Anders, the first of 2 short yardage touchdowns in the first 10 minutes of this ball game. He was ridiculous. The defense awfully good as well. Just about the entirety of the Q&D front 7 in on that quarterback sack, and that would set up Mr. Anders again. Not only the touchdown, but the 2-point conversion in this game made it 21-0. Q&D never blinked from that point forward. The Raiders go on to win big time over Bushnell. 49-6 was your final, and yeah, Q&D has bounced back majorly from that season opening loss. Big one tonight between winless Macomb and unbeaten West Hancock. We didn't think we'd be saying that a couple of years ago. Teams that have reversed their fortunes. And check out Jacob Poor, though, trying to get his team together. Corby Foxall, fast becoming one of the best tight ends in our area. Macomb jumped out to a 6-0 lead. West Hancock just kept attacking all night long. No quit in this team. These youngsters have found some serious heart in this one. Check out Jacob Lohman. Fantastic run. This does not result in a touchdown, but in the end, we go to overtime tonight, double overtime, and there tonight, it was Macomb managing to sneak out its first victory of the season in a thriller. 21-20 is how this ends up. Great win for Macomb. Hard luck loss for a West Hancock team that could have been 3-0 on the season. Also tonight, we've got more to talk about, and it's not good. Rarely is it, though, when anybody plays Sacred Heart Griffin. Jackson was down early, never really got into this game. The Crimsons fall to 1-2 1-2 on the season as they lose to a really good Sacred Heart Griffin team. 48-10 is your score in that one. Let's do some Quincy High School tonight back home and trying to make some things happen after an ugly loss at Peoria and Notre Dame last week. The kids all fired up to see the Blue Devils, and why wouldn't they be? Good stuff coming right off the bat from this fella. Bryce Umazig, you know his speed, power runner on this first initial drive, and the Blue Devils were fantastic on it. Umazig from 2 yards out, in for the score. Great run from that fella as he was getting it done tonight. Great stuff right there. Made it 7-0 Blue Devils. They're not done. More to come, this time on the inside. Devin Smith, the big fullback, doing some things, banging away on the inside, making some things happen. That would set up another touchdown, this time by Mr. Brockmiller, who's going to go to the edge, get to the side, and bust his way in. Fantastic run from Brockmiller as he takes it to the house right there. 14-0. Quincy High School seemed to be about to blow things out. Their defense playing fantastically as well in this one. Oh, great stuff from the Blue Devils until things went awry. This, my friends, a 74-yard scoop and score, which reversed the polarity of this game rather quickly in this one, as all of a sudden the Blue Devils, who looked like they were going to cruise to an easy victory, were in a ball game. It was 14-13 at the half. At last check, that was the score. We'll get you a final as soon as we get one here on The Big Show. More to come now for you in terms of scores to pass along. In the WIVC tonight, Greenfield Northwestern, a winner at Pleasant Hill. 40-6 was your final in that ball game. Triopia roars back to life after a loss to Carrollton. 36-0 was your final in beating Rout. Speaking of Carrollton, they will be the opposition for still unbeaten West Central. We'll have those highlights tomorrow night on Overtime, 7 o'clock start. Tell you what, Alex Ebbing's team has been very, very good today. More for you now. Brown County trying to get some fun going on in Mount Sterling tonight, and it was the Carter Lewis show all the time, every time. Great stuff right here from Mr. Carter Lewis. 69-yard rumble. I'll tell you what, after losing to West Central last week, Brown County was all about it tonight. The Unity Payson Mustangs had no answer for Carter Lewis. Did I mention Carter Lewis yet? Pretty darn good. Youngster getting it done in this ball game. On the night, what a rushing effort for him as he would end up with 8 carries, 225 yards, and he's going to do it again, this time from 35 yards away. In for the score, skedaddles his way in. Beautiful stuff right there as well. More to come in this one as well. How about Jared Fry going to the air, hooking up with his favorite target, Brady Robinson, and he's a good one. That, my friend, sets up a touchdown to make it 16-0 in favor of the Hornets. Then it's going to be Blake Law finishing off our highlights as the Brown County Hornets get it done. They get off the schneid. 0-2 coming in. They're back in the win column, and good to see that in Mount Sterling, as it would be Brown County getting the win in this one. 58-6 was your final. More for you now. We've got some scores from Illinois to pass along. Pittsfield running into the Barry Creviston show, the Pretzels of New Berlin. Barry Creviston's son, a heck of a player apparently, because he had a couple of touchdowns in this one receiving. New Berlin beats Pittsfield tonight 47-12 as Pittsfield, the Saukeys, now fall to 1-2 on the season. Elsewhere tonight, Beardstown, man, struggling tonight, playing without Gus Vermillion, couldn't get much offense going. They end up losing in this one by the final count of 22-0 was your score in that ball game. Better news for the Sparklones, ridiculous. They get the win tonight over Havana. They're 2-1 on the season, beating up on the Ducks 47-20. Nice to see that as well. Let's take you to Missouri now. Hannibal Pirates taking on Mexico. We unfortunately have first half highlights of this one. We don't want to show you those. The second half is where it was fun tonight. The Bulldogs jumped out to a huge lead in this ball game. 27 unanswered points from the Pirates tonight in the second half. The story in this ball game is Hannibal comes all the way back to win. Are you kidding me? What a great gritty effort for Mark St. Clair's crew. 27-26, all of those in the second half. Talk about getting it done on the night. Let's go to more for you tonight. Palmyra and South Shelby going at it tonight, and this was all South Shelby. I tell you what, great night tonight by everybody on the South Shelby offense tonight, scoring at will in this ball game. South Shelby built an early lead and just kind of kept going away with this thing. On the inside, I'll tell you what though, Palmyra doing some stack-up work right there. South Shelby Cardinals, though, looking to their run game, their pass game as well. Everything kind of happened for them. The run-pass game as well, as South Shelby ends up getting the victory tonight in a blowout over Palmyra. Surprisingly easy game for the South Shelby Cardinals. Chase Windsor and company. Brett Threckle doing the thing tonight. 32-0 was your final in that ball game. Let's take you to the newly christened Palace Well, we'll get there in a second. That is Monroe City's field. Brookfield leaves no doubt about it. Brookfield wasn't state ranked going into this week. I think that changes this week as they blow out Centralia. 40-7 was your final in that ball game. Also on the docket tonight, Clark County is now 2-2 on the season, getting things back right, beating up on their former River Trails rival, Scotland County, 56-20 tonight. Also on the docket, it was Macon. Offense a little slowed, but they find a way to beat Highland on the road tonight to the Tigers. 26-6 was your final there. We've got more for you now. Now here's that new palace that is Monroe City's football field, and it was a dandy today. How about the run game for the Panthers in this one? Tarek Garner about to break things loose from 42 yards away. He's into the end zone for the score, 8-0 at that point. I tell you what, Louisiana got a great rushing effort in this game from this guy, Cody Brown, who ran like a man possessed. He would set things up for Lane Rule, and that, my friends, would kind of get the offense going in this ball game for them, as Lane Rule's going to finish this off, make it an 8-8 ball game at that point. Big story in this game, though. Logan Minter in this game had a couple of touchdowns for Monroe City. He was fantastic tonight. Probably a Player of the Week candidate of the highest order as Monroe City gets the victory tonight in this one big time. 55-42 your final. Also on the docket tonight, we've got more to tell you about in Missouri. It was Knox County getting felled big time by Paris. Tucker Gruber, monster night as well. Through the scores quickly now if we can. Clopton-Ellsbury getting a win and upsetting Mark Twain 18-12. Nice win for the Indian Hawks there. More from Missouri. Wright City, no match for Bowling Green. And we have Van Far at the half was trailing North Callaway 75-0. That was a halftime score. Keokuk at home tonight against Mount Pleasant, trying to get it done, trailed early and often in this game. How about this? Austin Smith for Mount Pleasant takes it in to make it 16-0. Keokuk's passing game, though, made it a little bit closer just a bit later as Nick Shepard's going to go to the air, hook up with Colton Marlin to cut that lead to 16-6. A real pretty pass play. We love what Nick Shepard's doing. Unfortunately, not enough tonight as Keokuk ends up going down to defeat. Show you a couple of Iowa scores that we have in. No, those Iowa scores aren't done, so we're going to go right to women's soccer quickly. Quincy University taking on Southern Indiana tonight off the penalty restart right here. This is Carolyn Bassler going in for the score to make it 2-0, and that, my friends, is how it would end up as the Lady Hawks, nationally ranked, get the win. The men were tied at last check at 0s apiece. We'll update you with all those scores tonight on the web. Thanks for bearing with us tonight. Tough night personally, family loss. Talk about it a little later next week. Great stuff coming up. Overtime tomorrow. Either me or Will, we don't know yet. Should be an awful lot of fun. We'll see you then at 10:30 tomorrow, everybody.